I've been offered a contract to be the next Southampton manager, but what are these expectations? Win the Premier League? Southampton are literally the worst Premier League club at the minute. They've even just sacked their manager. They also want me to reach a Champions League final? Bro, they've never even played in the Champions League. Develop 3 players to a 90+ rating? Nah, man, this Southampton job feels impossible. But you guys know me, I'm not one to back down from a challenge. Of course, I'm signing the contract to become the next Southampton manager. It's time to mark a new era for the Saints. I'm starting to regret signing that contract because this team is horrendous. Okay, maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. We do have a bit of talent like Cameron Archer that we can focus on growing. Harwood Bellis too, a former Man City centre-back. And Aaron Ramsdale, who's actually our highest rated player, 81 rated. But that's kind of the problem. The rest of our team, just look at their ratings. Also, since we're Southampton, not really a rich club, our budget is just 36 mil. We're really not making signings to improve this team. I think we're going to need to take a completely different approach if at some point we want to get Southampton Premier League and Champions League glory. And so for season 1, I'm not going to care too much about our results. Now, that might sound crazy, but I think we just cannot compete in the Premier League. This team is just not good enough. I think we need to use the early seasons to build a great foundation, bring in the right players, and build from there. So even if we get relegated this season, I'm not going to be too mad. Actually, I will still feel a bit sad. Okay, so for starters, this 5 at the back formation's gotta go. It might probably get us more wins this season, more draws, but it's not something long-term. Southampton aren't winning the Premier League being so defensive. 4-1-4-1. That's gonna be our tactical setup. I already think the team looks so much better like this. Now, we might concede goals, suffer defeats, but hey, we're building for the future. We gotta stick to our tactics. We've now got to make the best use possible of this 36 million. Now, you might think signing maybe Premier League players with a bit of experience could be a way to keep us up, but that's a short-term solution. It's not going to help Southampton evolve and get better. So no, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to invest everything into a youth academy. That's right, boys. I remember Southampton have had some ballers come through their ranks. Van Dijk didn't come through their academy, but he was scouted. Even players like James Ward-Prowse. 3.4 million to get a 5-star scout. I'm telling you, boys, we are investing everything into the academy. Another 2.7 million. And let's get a 3rd scout as well. We have just spent around 10 million just setting up our academy. Now, guys, I've got an interesting plan. Why don't we send one of our scouts to Wales? We'll do a long-term project of 6 months. Send him on the hunt to find a right winger. I want the next Gareth Bale to play for Southampton. Now, for our 2nd scout, sending him to Netherlands to bring us a centre-back. You can see where I'm going with this. Project Van Dijk has begun too. And finally, I'm sending a scout to England because, man, do I want to play like James Ward-Prowse back at Southampton. I'm excited, boys. We've started big long-term projects here. The academy is what we're going to trust. And wow, we're down to just 16 million. That's not going to be enough to make any kind of meaningful signing. We do have quite a few players on loan. Maybe we could sign one of them on a permanent deal like Ogochukwu, 20-year-old kid from Chelsea, 73 rated. I see potential here. Spending 7 million to make Ogochukwu a permanent deal. Yep, this is going to be the only transfer we're able to make this season. Okay, I will put Ogochukwu as a starter now because we need him to really grow. But I'll be honest, guys, I have no idea how this team is going to survive the Premier League. As I said, we can't focus too much on results now. We just need our youth academy projects to come good. If we could just find a couple of ballers, the next Gareth Bale, the next Van Dijk, it could change the trajectory of this club. Okay, we've got our first scouting report back. Wait a minute, Scott Nil, 86 pace already, and the dribbling's pretty high too. 69 and 94 potential. Have we just found the next Gareth Bale already? Oh my days, he's valued at 1.8 million. That is crazy. One of the best academy players I think I've ever seen. Not just that, we've got some other good options too, like Lloyd Pearson. Davies is valued at 1.3 million too. That is absolutely crazy, boys. The Southampton academy off to a great start. We only need one winger though, and I think it's gonna be Scott Nil. I know he's right-footed unlike Bale, but we can still have him play on that right side. We're gonna sign him up. No way, man. He already starts off at a 66 overall. That is absolutely insane. Look at all the play styles as well. Do you know what I'm gonna do, guys? Convert him to a right midfielder, and I'm gonna straight away promote him to the senior team. I have seen enough. And we'll make him a guaranteed starter. Okay, we've still got a couple more scouting reports to maybe find the next Van Dijk. But we're gonna have to hunt a bit more. What about trying to find the next Ward-Prowse for Southampton? A few good options here, but nothing too crazy again. By the way, look at this. Scott Nil is already getting assists in the Premier League. I'm telling you, man, the academy is the way Southampton can get to the top. Oh, and I think we found the next Van Dijk too. Alexander de Groot, 72 to 94 potential. But he doesn't have the height and physicality of Van Dijk though. But I still think he can be good. We'll sign him up. Okay, de Groot might be a bit too low rated for the Premier League, so we'll keep him in the academy for now. And finally, the scout we sent to England has brought us a real good talent. Reece Wheatley. The potential's there. The overall looks high right now as well. Wait, am I seeing things? 3.2 million value? That's one of the highest I've ever seen. Oh my days, he's already a 68 overall. That is crazy. 4-star skills. 4-star weak foot. Look at all the play styles. Again, he's one of those talents that we gotta straight away get into the first team. I'm really going all in on the academy here at Southampton, man. Both Scott Nil and Wheatley are gonna be starters. We're now at the end of season 1, and I'm kind of worried, but we are indeed safe. We survived relegation by 1 point. In spite of focusing completely on the academy, we're still gonna be a Premier League club. I think for now, that's a big win. And yo, there's quite a bit of growth in our team too. Cameron Archer has got up to a 79 overall. He also scored 16 Premier League goals. One thing's for sure, I think we found the striker to develop and focus on. Ramsdale's up to 82, but of course the important thing is we're seeing some growth in our academy players. Scott Nil up to a 68. Wheatley up to a 70. But they didn't get that much game time. That's the problem. Okay, at least Scott Nil did. He played 32 games. Also de Groot, who's still in the academy, the next Van Dijk. I think we need to promote him too. I think, guys, for season 1, we've built a good foundation, but if going forward, we can start giving our academy players more game time. Also make some signings finally, at least to build the team around them. I think we can start pushing above in the Premier League, maybe dreaming for a mid-table finish. Season 2 begins, and the first thing we're doing is clearing the club out. Now, I know you might think, why am I selling all these players when last season we didn't make a single signing? Well, guys, there's simply one reason, and I've told you about it. The youth academy is the primary focus. I need Wheatley, Nil, and of course, the Groot too to get as much game time as possible, and the only way that'll happen is if we've got a thin squad and they keep either starting or coming off the bench. Because, bro, these are 3 players that have potential to become the best in their positions, and that's kind of what we're gonna need if we want to make Southampton the best team in England. Saying that though, all those player sales mean that we've got 52 million to spend this season, and since we've sorted out our coaching department, we've got our youth academy players, we can finally now use that to make some transfers. And I've already picked out a couple of positions where we're gonna need improvements. Left back and left mid. If we can sort this side out with some talent, I think we can easily finish mid-table in the Premier League and build from there. I'm wondering if there are any good left backs in the Championship that we can maybe steal. And oh, I like this option. Leif Davis from Ipswich Town. If you remember, they did get relegated last season, and that helped us secure a really good deal, signing Davis for just 16 million. Now, for the left mid position, I do want to sign someone from the Premier League. Someone with a bit of experience who can bring in the goals. Okay, guys, I've been sat here for a couple of minutes just looking at Marcus Rashford, because somehow I think he completely fits in our budget, because Manchester United seemingly want to sell him. I know he's 27, he's not going to be growing too much for us. He'll give us that experience to take Aston Villa at least to a mid-table club, maybe even pushing into the top 10. Maybe Rashford could be the superstar of our Southampton project. This would be a bit of a risk, man, putting in this kind of money. But hey, since we've got so many young players already, I think signing someone with a bit of experience could work, man. I don't know how this is going to play out, but let's try bringing in Marcus Rashford for 24 million. I think if we can get him on a deal like this, it'll be an absolute steal, and I think we're going to make it work. Just 25 million, and it's a done deal. We're bringing Marcus Rashford to Southampton. Oh, man, our left side now looks absolutely amazing. But yeah, if the academy players can just keep growing, I don't think Southampton will ever have to worry about relegation. Season ends, and we're not in a relegation battle. Instead, we end up finishing 11th. I'll take that, boys. Being far away from the relegation battle is what we need. But of course, it's still not perfect. We had a negative goal difference, but I think from here, we can now build towards finishing top 10. Also, what's helping us is there's been some really nice growth. From having literally 0 80+ rated players in our outfield, we've now literally got 3, with Cameron Archer being 82, Rashford's 82 as well, Leif Davis as well up to an 80. But the best part is the growth in our academy players player Scott Nil up to a 75. That's because he's been playing a ton of games, 44 games this season as a 19-year-old. He's not scoring as much, but I'm sure that'll change soon. Wheatley, on the other hand, isn't getting that much game time, but he's still up to a 73. Interestingly enough, the Groot is also growing pretty darn well, up to a 70. That's because he played like 17 games. That's why I've only kept like 3 centre-backs at the club, so the Groot has to play at least off the bench or something. But yep, guys, the foundation of this Southampton team is looking real solid. We've just got to keep focusing on improving it. For season 3, our budget is lower than last season. I mean, hey, we're managing Southampton. We're not going to have crazy money until we get them to like the Champions League. Maybe even then we're not going to have crazy money to spend. But I think 40 million should be good enough to improve this team so we can get a top half finish. Jared Brantwaite, 82 rated, 6'5", absolute unit. Can you imagine him in our back line? And I'm thinking if we swap out one of our centre-backs, of course not the Groot, he's part of the future, but someone like Bella Kotchap, who's not growing as much, we'll chuck in say another 33 million as well. And looks like we're really close to getting a deal. And that is one serious acquisition to get one of the most promising centre-backs in the Premier League to play for Southampton. This project now means serious business. We've now made it to the end of season 3, and oh, the growth is looking awesome, boys. We've now got 9 players above an 80 overall in just the first team. Academy players like Scott Nil up to a 79. He still needs to get more goals under his name, but the growth is crazy. Reece Wheatley finally doing a lot better, up to a 77. This time he actually played a few games. Even the Groot is growing well, 76 overall. Oh, but even after all that, we could only finish 10th. I mean, hey, we aimed for the top half finish and we kind of got exactly that. But this kind of shows how difficult it is to go beyond and start competing for maybe European spots. We're going to need to figure out how to improve this team even further. We're now in season 4 of the Southampton job. And I think, guys, our team is ready to start pushing for like top 7, top 8 at the very least. Because apart from our 2 academy players, everybody else is 80 plus rated. And I'm sure these 2 will continue growing rapidly. We do have about 54 million. What can we do to improve our team? Well, I guess for starters, maybe a backup striker, because right now we've got Stewart, and he's pretty average. Gonna bring in this guy, Lucas and Mecca. 16 million for an 80 rated striker. Sign me up. Okay, we've improved our squad depth with that, but I think there's a way to improve our first team as well. Marcus Rashford, who's 29 now. When we signed him, we kind of needed that experience, and he was actually good for us. Helped us become a stable Premier League club, but I don't see the point of keeping him for any longer. If we can get a younger player that can grow faster, could be the play now, boys. So I think it's time to move on from Rashford. And yup, he's been sold. He's off to Chelsea, and I think we made quite a bit of profit on this. Yup, we made like 12.6 million in profits. Oh, but now we've got a serious budget, man. And I want to use that to sign Jamie Bino Gittins from Dortmund. I'm sure he'd want to come back to England. Probably not to Southampton. But hey, we're on the up. This season, we're targeting a Europa League spot at the very least. And looks like 40 million is enough to convince Bino Gittins. Now, since we've still got about 30 mil left, we could improve our right back position by bringing in someone like Neco Williams, at least for squad depth. I mean, I've got an offer here for Kyle Walker-Peters, who I don't mind selling. And yes, sir, we're bringing in Neco Williams to Southampton. Oh, actually, I just realized Neco Williams might be good enough to even be a starter over Sugawara. Couple of Welshmen down the right side, I quite like that. But now, guys, this Southampton team is really coming along nicely. If we can see some solid growth from our academy players, I think top 6 is imminent. Oh, and this is just what we wanted. Scott Nil from the academy up to an 83 overall. Reece Wheatley up to an 82. Wait, that means our entire team now is 80 plus rated. And look at the kind of growth we're seeing. Fernandez in midfield up to an 85. Cameron Archer 86. I'm glad we signed Bino Gittins, man, because I don't think Rashford would have grown like this. But has that resulted in us getting top 6? And yes, it has. 5th in the Premier League. Our best season yet. We were actually so close to qualifying for Champions League football too. We've developed an incredible team here at Southampton. But this is just the start, boys. We're not stopping until we can get this team to a Premier League trophy. But things are gonna get harder now. Because since we've qualified for Europa League football, shocking every other Premier League club, the vultures are gonna be surrounding our players. Especially our academy talents like Nil and Wheatley. And if you remember, the last time Southampton had incredible talents like Gareth Bale and Van Dijk, big clubs ended up stealing them. So that's right, boys. Until we get Southampton to Champions League football, we must accept the first offer that comes from either Spurs or Liverpool. I'm just hoping we don't end up recreating what happened before with Bale and Van Dijk. We finally qualified for Europe and we've got a decent budget, 56 million. But we can't straight away use it, guys. First, we need to see if offers come in from Liverpool and Spurs. Oh, there's an offer already for Man City. I am so glad it's not Liverpool. We can reject this for now. And we're already seeing clubs like Arsenal come in. But remember, the rule is Liverpool and Spurs, so we're fine for now. As long as we're not forced to sell our youth academy players, I'll be a happy man. We're getting all sorts of English clubs coming with offers, but not Liverpool and Spurs. And we might just get away with it. Because, yep, we're already a month into the transfer window. Oh, no, there's an offer from Liverpool. And it's for Reece Wheatley. That is exactly what I feared. One of our most promising players who we've been developing from day one. I can't, man. This is what always happens with Southampton. Liverpool treating us like a feeder club. We've got no choice but to accept it. I was really hoping we'd get away with this and our youth academy players will be safe. But of course, a club like Liverpool, this is what they do to Southampton. At least we got about 50 mil for him. Now, the good thing at least is that we've made it to deadline day and there are no offers from Spurs. I think we're safe. We won't have to sell one more player. But yeah, we need to act fast because we need a replacement for Reece Wheatley and it's not going to be easy to replace a talent like him. We got about 100 million. I think we're going to break Southampton's transfer record. And oh, I like this Spaniard, Javi Guerra, playing for Manchester United now. Not anymore because we're spending 90 million breaking Southampton's transfer record. And with that, Javi Guerra joins the club. Maybe this is what Southampton was missing. Whenever they had to sell their big players, they never reinvested that money. And we're doing it now. Okay, guys, this season we need to qualify for Champions League football. And I'm hoping Javi Guerra can help us with that. He doesn't have the potential of Reece Wheatley, but he's still a top-tier player. Now, there are two ways we can qualify for Champions League. One is by winning the Europa League. And we've started off strong, finishing third in the league phases. By the way, Southampton have never played in the knockout rounds of any European competition. But yeah, we've started off strong, knocking out Fenerbahce and going through on penalties against Sporting. Knocking out Feyenoord too. Nah, no freaking way. Southampton are Europa League winners. I did not expect to see them win a trophy like this in just the 5th season. Premier League 2, we've got Southampton top 4. I can't believe we've just had a successful season like this. Okay, guys, looking at the team, it explains everything. We now have our first 90 rated player, Matheus Fernandes. When we started this career mode, I did not expect him to grow like this. Bino Gittins is almost at a 92. Cameron Archer up to an 88. And he banged in 27 goals as well. Also, can we talk about our very own Gareth Bale, Scott Nil, 87 rated, 19 goals and 11 assists. We had to trust him, and he's bringing back the numbers. The Groot at the back as well is up to an 84 overall. Okay, one thing made me a bit emotional. While checking the overalls, we couldn't find Wheatley. You know what? Let's still just check up on him. How is he faring at Liverpool? Up to an 86 overall, man. This really hurts. But you know what? Now that we've qualified for Champions League football, we don't have to accept any offers from anyone. We can focus on winning the Premier League and maybe even the Champions League. Season 6 and we've made Southampton a Champions League club, which means Liverpool, Spurs, you can come in with all the offers you want. We can just reject all of them. And that means we can focus on building our squad to win both the Premier League and the Champions League. I think first for that, we need to focus on some squad depth. I'm thinking bringing another winger to the club, as well as maybe a left back, because those are positions we're lacking a lot of depth. Oh, it does feel nice to have that Champions League money come through. Okay, to start things off, I found Harrison Burrows playing for Nottingham Forest. 80 rated. Don't mind that at all for some squad depth. For the right mid spot, we can go with this kid, Tyler Dibbling. And hold on a minute, I do remember seeing this name. Oh, wow, I just realized he was part of our Southampton squad at the start of the video, but we ended up selling him to make space for Scott Nil from the academy. Well, we've got him back at Southampton, making a return to reinforce our squad. Okay, we've got the bench sorted. Now it's time to see if we can make some improvements to our starting 11. And I think the CDM position might be it. Ugo Chukwu. He has not grown according to expectations. He was literally our first signing, but what a letdown. He's only still at an 81 overall. Oh, Sar's contract is expiring at Spurs. Remember, Spurs had an opportunity to steal one of our players, but they didn't take it. Well, it's their fault because we're going to try and sign Sar. And we've got him for 40 million. Looking at this team right now, I'm starting to feel maybe we can mount a title challenge because almost every position we seem to have a baller. 190 rated player too. Maybe, just maybe with a bit of luck. We're simming now until the end of the season, and while we wait, if you guys could subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing. Would be a nice Christmas present for me. me. Thank you very much. Oh, but end of the season, we again finished 4th. Liverpool end up winning the league. And I think I know why there's a big gap between us and Liverpool. We've literally given them one of the best talents in football right now. Reece Wheatley, he's up to an 88 overall. Well, at least our Champions League debut ended up pretty well, finishing 6th in the league phases. Oh, but knocked out in the quarterfinals against Barcelona. This team now has 2 players above a 90 overall, man. Cameron Archer's probably gonna get there soon, even Scott Nil. You know what? Now that we're a Champions League club, what's stopping us from bringing back the prodigal son Reece Wheatley? Season 7, our budget's 169 million. We're a Champions League club. Surely we can convince Wheatley to return. His contract's expiring too. It shows that he wants to come back home. The club which gave him a career. And we're doing it, boys. 100 million is my first offer. We're breaking the transfer record for Southampton. It is a done deal. Reece Wheatley is back. This time, though, as a superstar. What is this team now missing to become Premier League winners? Well, there's only one unhappy player in this team, and that's Neco Williams. Well, he's even submitted a transfer request. Doesn't make sense to keep him then. We've sold him. I'll take the 20 mil. Now it's 73 million. Surely we can bring in a top tier right back. Okay, I found a player I've never really used. Martim Fernandez, 85 rated, playing at Crystal Palace. Signing him up because I feel like he's the perfect right back for our team. I am not even kidding. This team is so good. And by the way, we've now got 3 90+ rated players. That completes one of our challenges in the contract. Funnily enough, it's not any of the academy players that have done it for us. But I think this season they might get there. The real question is, though, are we finally good enough to win the Premier League? Okay, we've definitely finished higher than 4th. Oh my days, we're top 2. Liverpool are 3rd. Have we actually done it? In season 7, has Southampton won the league? And yes, they have. 1 point over Man City. 73 points, that's it. Might be one of the lowest points total for a Premier League winning side, but we'll take it because we're taking home the trophy. That was the main challenge on our contract when we signed with Southampton. And this is the team that has pulled it off. We've got 4 90+ rated players, and even everyone else is super high rated. Do you know what? A bit of respect for Cameron Archer. We've been hyping up all our youth academy players, but this guy from day 1 has been banging in the goals for us. 27 this season, but I'm hoping he can do it for us next season too in the Champions League, because I'm gonna be the manager for 1 more season at Southampton, and we'll see if we can complete the final challenge in our contract, which is to reach a Champions League final. If we can win it, brilliant, but hopefully we can at least just get there. Oh, by the way, I got too excited about winning the Premier League and forgot to tell you guys what happened in the Champions League. Well, we got knocked out in the quarterfinals by Atletico, but okay, we do have this final season to try and win it, and I actually don't want to make any changes to the team. I think we've got a tremendously good first team, incredible bench. Let's see if we can complete the final challenge in our contract. And okay, we start off the league phases strong, finishing 6th. Round of 16, knocking out Bayern Munich. That gives me a lot of hope. We've also knocked out Real Madrid. Yo, the kings of the Champions League have been knocked out. Semi-finals, we get West Ham and we thrash them. Nah, guys, we have taken Southampton to the Champions League final. 8 seasons of hard work. That is all our objectives in our Southampton contract done. We even won the Premier League this season, convincingly this time. Also the FA Cup. Bro, we win this Champions League, Southampton will have won a treble. Honestly, boys, over 8 seasons of building this team, it's been truly sensational. 6 players 90+ rated. And here we go, we're playing for the Champions League trophy. Here we go, boys. Champions League final is kicking off. More than anything, I'm excited to test out these academy players. We've got De Groot here on the ball, looking for Wheatley, finding Scott Nil. Man, we've spent 8 seasons developing these youngsters, and look at them now in a Champions League final. Wheatley is, of course, the most interesting one because he actually left our club, developed quite a bit at Liverpool, and now he's here helping us out, striking that one well. We're the ones looking like the better team, and here's Scott Nil getting taken out there, referee. Free kick from a good spot. Who's our best free kick taker right now? Oh, Scott Nil didn't develop his free kick stats at all. That isn't Gareth Bale-like. Gonna give this one to Reece Wheatley and just see if he can curl this one in. You never know, man. You never know. Good amount of power as well. Nope. And okay, that was bad. Scott Nil. Oh, what a ball for Cameron Archer. And the finish. No, he's put it wide. Even I can't believe it on the touchline. Wheatley again. Looking for passing options. Can't seem to find one. I need Scott Nil to make that run. Finally, he does. This could lead to something. Scott Nil. The finish. No, it's saved. We could still have a chance here. Cameron Archer turns and shoots and scores. It had to be him. The striker who's been here from day one. Oh, but now PSG have a chance here with this free kick. Takefusa Kubo and Xavi Simons on it, but Xavi Simons... That was the worst free kick I've ever seen. Oh no, PSG have opened us up. It's Matthias Tell looking for Kubo. Brantwaite is charging back. What a challenge. And now we could do something on the breakaway with Cameron Archer, who's broken through. Should be a second. It is. Cameron Archer has sealed the Champions League for Southampton. It's done, boys. Full time. Who would have thought 8 seasons ago when we took on this job that we'd not only win the Premier League, but the Champions League and a treble. And do it with a big help from the Youth Academy as well. But hey, if you enjoyed this journey with Southampton, watch me try and manage one of the worst Italian clubs, Como. Now, that was an even bigger challenge. Click here.